Hi everyone and welcome, my name's Mack. I'm going to be looking at Wormstooth by Jogsaw. Yeah, this is a bit of a monster mod in more ways than one, but let me go through some of the main aspects for you right now. Okay, so the main story quest takes place on this gigantic island called Wyrmstooth. It doesn't start off there, but that's where you fairly quickly end up. There's a bunch of side quests that you can find through exploration. You get to mind controller draw, which is always nice. There's like loads of new NPCs. It's all scripted and voiced by voice actors and stuff in the dialogue and everything. You can make a player home out of an abandoned Imperial fort. You can use placeable bear traps, playable instruments, new shout, phantom form, and new spells and stuff. I mean, it's got a lot in it before I even get you started on what happens at the beginning. I mean, my god. Anyway, so me and Chuck had like a couple of minutes to spare, so we thought we'd go and have a look. I'm not involved with this mod, by the way. I'm just someone who makes mod videos, so if you want to check out more, check my channel. But basically, this is the quest. A guy runs up to you after level 10, or after you've seen the Greybeards, and you have to go and speak to this dude. And basically he's the kind of hub to start with, and to start with it's pretty straightforward what you actually have to do. I won't be making any spoilers during this video, but it's not much of a spoiler to actually tell you that he sends you to go and get a couple of people, because there's been dragon danger going on. Oh my god, in Skyrim? Who'd have thought? Yeah, so anyway, he sends you off to find some people. That's the first thing you have to do, and this is obviously around Skyrim. You have to travel around a little bit, so you'll be going to places like Solitude and places like that. So if you've got money for the carriage, that's great. If you've already got way past level 10, then just fast travel, it's fine. And you have to go and pick them up, and then the next part begins. Now it shouldn't be that much of a surprise that obviously you have to travel to this island. And you do that from the Solitude docks. Now I'm not going to go through absolutely every part of this quest mod, by the way. I'm just giving you the highlights of how you get started and where things are. And eventually you arrive on Wormstooth, which it is a big island. Although the mod author said it himself, I thought, I wonder if it is. And it is. It's pretty big. I'll throw you up a map in a second, but you go through some different regions as well, different kind of tundra regions and all that kind of stuff. So it's been really nicely done. But anyway, this is the map. Check it out. Now it's obviously at the very beginning, so there's not many spots that are open. But if you look at the actual size of the landmass, it's a pretty decent sized map, and he's done a fantastic job with setting up how things work and where certain places are. I'm trying not to say too much, but you get treats to some, you know, really awesome skylines, some lovely kind of forested areas, little settlements, little things off the beaten track that you can get involved in if you choose to, if you don't want to just stick with the main quest mod. And the landscape is really beautiful, and yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of little treats around the corner as you're kind of adventuring, depending on how, you know, willing you are to explore. Now, one of the things that surprised me with this mod was the level of detail. There's various books around that you can pick up and read, as you would in Skyrim, and it gives a really decent background to where you are, what's going on here, why it's going on. But not only that, you've also got things like, you know, being able to mine when you're there, being able to gather stuff. There's workbenches and various other things, so you can almost live on this island for a little bit. And you know, there's some nice things to see. There's some good battles to be had. There are certain things in the outside world, when you're not actually following the main quest, that are quite challenging, and it's a nice place. I can imagine coming here at level 10, which is when the quest opens up, or after you see the Greybeards. I can imagine this being a really good place that wouldn't, it's not like way outside of the Skyrim world or anything like that. If anything, the first few quests kind of get you to move around Skyrim the same way that you would while you're questing anyway around that level. And even at high levels, I mean, I'm playing a level 22 or 23 guy here, and normally I would play a much higher character than that, but I'd still bring my much higher character here, because there are some reasonably challenging fights to be had, particularly when you follow the main storyline. But even at this level, at level 22, 23, I still found it quite a reasonably good challenge. It wasn't like really easy or anything like that, and that was always nice. Obviously the mobs that you experience, the enemies that you experience are kind of what you would expect for around level 10 to 15. I'm not going to go into it too much, but there's a reasonably decent diversity of enemies that you come across that will kind of challenge you somewhat, so that's okay. But it won't be any massive surprises for like veteran players or players going with like very high level characters. So just sticking with the main quest for a little while, I don't really want to go into too much about the other bits and bobs you find through exploration. Basically you're in pursuit of a dragon, that's the whole thing. It's written in the description for the mod, it's no great surprise. It does lead you to go through obviously the landscape. There's one or two puzzles that need to be solved along the way. Some fairly inventive ways of actually doing it as well. You know, you obviously have some people along for the ride as well that can eventually become your companions. Some of these people actually join you throughout the main campaign as well. This is me being a droll, which was a lot of fun. It's worth it just for that, to be honest, but I shall carry on. Yeah, and you get to fight some enemies, you get to explore. Now, the reason why the main quest goes through such a large dungeon is it's almost like 3 or 4 dungeons together. They're zoned pretty well, they're structured pretty well, it flows pretty well, all kinds of things happen. Not going to go into any of that, but there's some nice surprises, there's some nice bits and bobs to see and lots of things to do, and some crazy stuff that goes down. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, the exploration of the main quest, mostly because once you've finished an area in this dungeon, it becomes open again. I mean, there are a couple of little quirks to do with it, like 1 or 2 odd little textures here and there, but the mod author's kind of still working on this. I think the last update was literally about 2 weeks ago, and you know, there's obviously a lot in here. I mean, this is still the main story dungeon that I'm showing you images from here, so it evolves as you go through it. It doesn't just stay like one type and one type of enemies, it moves on. It's kind of quite active, which is really cool. You know, you get to fight the things you'd expect to fight at level 10 to 15 to 20, around there. You still get to see some cool rooms, and it's been really well done. I mean, I admire the work that's gone into this mod. I did have a couple of crashes to desktop, mostly because I run mods, and you know, that does tend to happen sometimes when you're playing quest mods, that you know, you will get a crash or two, but I reloaded and carried on. It wasn't like, you know, I couldn't carry on and oh my god. And you know, I mean, once the whole quest thing's complete, you can still explore the island. You can get back to Skyrim by using the map, or you can sleep on the bed on board the ship and it'll take you back. There's, you know, you're not locked in or anything. Now, for a quest mod that's obviously still being worked on, and there's other things they want to put in, I mean, you could do far worse. The rewards were good, the XP was good, the money was good, and it has quite a decent ending to it that feels like it should. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. If you want to check out some other mods, then check out my channel. I keep saying the word check, but there you go. Take a look at my channel anyway, there's a whole bunch of mods in there, or visit my page on the Nexus and go and have a look at this mod. It's worth a closer look. Cheers, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
lost in the shadow of the black wings unfurled.